Oh shit. What's up, crazy? I literally just saw your words pop up on the screen. I completely forgot that I got a message from work as I clicked like the start streaming button. And I literally just forgot that I was streaming. Yes, you are first, bro. Hey Ratty. How you doing, dude? Hey guys. I took a little bit off this weekend, took some time off. So yeah, I just appreciate you guys being here today. Yeah. Eating 1 sec, no worries, bro. Reading Pokimane's response. Alright, just chatting. Okay. So guys. Okay, so today, Pokimane released her response to Fed, and she also did a live stream explaining that the whole situation and her side of things. So yeah. I watched her video, which was 45 minutes. I'm going to synthesize it down instead of watching the whole video on stream, because I can't be bothered watching 45 minutes. But we will read her text response to the situation and see if it is any different to her video she put out. The 2.5 of us are watching as well during breakfast. Oh, good morning, Croaky and family. Hope you're all doing well. Hope the little one is, growing and shit. I don't know what else to say.
What's up, guys?
1 sec. Sorry, guys. I gotta quickly send someone something. Oh, hello. Come in. Alright, stream, I'm back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. My mum was in the room. New mic? No, not a new mic. What? I'm Mal. Yeah? Yeah? Are you? Yeah? Yeah, the mom. Hey, she's a queen. She's an absolute queen. What's going on, guys? Yo, Translogic, how you doing? AKA Monster. I changed my Twitch. Oh yeah, I bet you did. I bet you did, smiley face. The kiddo refuses to eat and force her to eat. I'm Mal. AKA Monster, no worries, man. Time for this month's Pokimane drama? Damn right, Mental. Damn right. You know what's up. You know what's up. Oh, I just refreshed. I'm talking with Livix in DMs right now. Oh yeah, what are you talking to him about? AKA Monster, what are you talking to him about? Yo, what's up? What's up, Rayana K. Barney? You know what? I am talking because I'm going undercover as AK Monster, so he's being my spy. Really, AKA Monster? Why, that's really interesting because I'm talking to Mao right now. I'm literally DMing him right now, and he's typing to me right now. What's up, Besink? What's good? And Ryan? Hey. Okay, I'll call you Ryan. Thanks, Ryan. Welcome to the stream. Almost worked. No, it did not almost work at all. How you doing, Besink? How's life, man? Okay. Elpa! Ooh! What's the tea? What's the tea, girl? Guys, we're gonna read Pokimane's response. Alright, we're gonna learn. Another job interview tomorrow? Congratulations, Ratty. Let's go, dude! Let's go! Frop, hello. Natalia, hey. How you all doing, guys? Yo, Ratty, I'm excited for you, dude. Commercial cleaning this time. Yo. A cleaning guy. Okay. Yo, Ryan, thank you for the follow, mate. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you. How am I? Guys, I am so much better. Holy moly. This weekend, I stream every freaking day. Like, I try and stream as much as possible, but I just on the weekend absolutely flatlines. Like, I've been so flat out lately. Like, I've been making videos trying to make videos every day. Trying to stream as much as I can. Like, I've just been like work, and I also work like for two different people, two different groups, like 2 different jobs. So I've been like, this weekend I just stopped streaming. I took like most days off, and I just absolutely crashed. I'm still a bit tired. So I'm probably not going to stream for like hours and hours because I have work tonight as well anyway. And I've got to pick my friend up from the airport today. But yeah, I'm going to do, as much as possible, and I'm feeling much better than the weekend. She didn't address a lot of shit, says Ratty, and I think there's more. Interesting. It's 2:12 a.m. where I live. Holy shit, good morning. Is that both of them wanted Yvonne sacked and blamed each other? Jesus. Alright. Let's get this Pokimane shit open then. Let's get it all open. So, I'm gonna pull up scene 1. Where's my camera? There I am. Okay. Hopefully there's no incriminating things on my Twitter right now. Let's open this up. Ooh, I'm really bright. Is there like a dark mode for this? Google Docs, dark mode, please. I guess not. Oh, and it's hard to read chat as well with the white lighting. This is annoying. I kind of want to go back to watching anime and see because I got school. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, brother. Do you work at the brothel? Me? Do I work at a brothel? Hell no. That'd be cool though. It's just another case of 2 people who make questionable decisions who are bad at communicating. Let's see. Alright, firstly, I'm going to turn on some background music. I'm turning down some... thinking background music. Yo, thank you to whoever just followed. Let me pull that up. I just missed that. I'm going to pull it up on Streamlabs. 1 hour. Alright, we're listening to 1 hour of relaxation music. Yo, random dude on the internet, thank you for the follow. And Jessica followed before. Thank you guys, appreciate you. Appreciate that a lot. Okay. Although Defs wins because I'm a simp. Hey, damn right, Mentals, damn right. Okay, let's read this shit. So, for anyone who doesn't know, I'll give the synopsis. Pokimane, big streamer, big female on the internet, in the gaming space. Got into some drama with a guy she used to live in the same house with, called Fed. Fed got kicked from their group, their friendship group, over doing some considered weird and creepy things to girls. He like slept in their beds and made them feel uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie and say things that I don't know, because I didn't really look that much into the situation. But girls called him creepy. Pokimane backed them up. This guy got kicked out of some group and left for months to go work on himself. Recently, he made a huge document responding to it all, which he wanted to keep secret, and he sent to people he knew, and somehow it got leaked. I don't know how it got leaked. I don't know who leaked it, but apparently someone he knows leaked it. So all this stuff basically was pitting Pokimane in a bad light, saying she did the wrong thing, she led him on, resulting in the downfall of their relationship, and whatever. Drama. And now, Pokimane has come out with her response to the situation. So we're going to see her side of the things. So if you guys haven't seen it, I uploaded my reaction to Fed's response. And I uploaded it to a channel called, I will show you here. It is called Udysof VODs. It has like no subscribers. Where is Udysof VODs? See, the channel is so small, only my main channel actually pops up. Udysof VODs, maybe. Here we go, Udysof VODs. I uploaded, like, the 2 hours of me responding to the Fed one. It was 2 hours, it's, like, really long. It was 25 pages, so if you're interested in seeing this part, you can watch it there. But today, I'm going to react to Pokimane's response. So, anyways, intro. I've talked about my experience with Fed in the past, and I'm really disappointed that leaked. So she says leaked in quotations. I assume she's saying, like, she doesn't believe it was leaked and it was released on purpose. I'm not sure. Misleading messages have made it necessary for me to respond once again. When she says she feels like she needed to respond, I genuinely feel like there wasn't actually that much traction around this being leaked. Like, I felt like there was no repercussions to be had for Pokimane, and I felt like she didn't need to respond to this. Like, it was a leaked document, and she says it's necessary for her to respond, but the way I was thinking about it was, I just didn't care. But maybe other people saw it differently. I just read it, and I just saw it as, like, two people bickering and, like, having bad experiences with each other. Sorry, I turned off my fan. I saw it as two people having bad experiences with each other and, like, normal daily human interaction with some drama in the middle that she just didn't need to respond to. But I guess she says it's necessary for her to respond to, so here we are. I feel forced to share my side of the story, now the evidence and context, to hopefully close this chapter once and for all. Knowing how much it hurts to have private convos leaked, I didn't want it to have to come to sharing more info that is also private to Fed and my friends involved. Out of respect to their privacy, I'll only be talking about some of the things that were already shared and what my friends are comfortable with. So, in Fed's one, it had a bunch of screenshots of conversations between her, like Pokimane and Fed and people like Lily, Pichu, and whatever. So, she's just saying, like, she's sad that those convos had to get leaked, but now she's saying, okay, I'm going to leak more conversations. So, like, she just hits you with, like, an instant double standard. The leak. I found out about this document weeks ago because of one of Fed's viewers DM'd me. One of Fed's viewers DM'd one of the offline TV members with a link to it. Technically a prior version to it. There was no update at the bottom / certain private texts were not in the document I saw. I was horrified that a viewer of his had such private messages of mine. I immediately contacted Fed. We spent a couple of days talking things through and coming to an understanding on how to handle this. I also informed how the document was shared with me, so he was well aware of the specific person who was doing this. Over the next few weeks, I would have my close friends and other streamers message me and tell me they were also sent this document, sometimes from Fed, sometimes from Fed's viewers. Every time my privacy was further violated, I would tell Fed and he would tell me he'd speak to his viewer and have the Google Docs deleted. It kept happening multiple times afterwards, making it hard for me to believe that he didn't want this to be shared. Whoa, that's messed up. There's no way, like, unless these people are like viewers trying to get brownie points or something, it seems very strange that it can keep getting leaked over and over again. Like, I'm pretty sure to me, if Fed didn't want this being leaked, he would have made this a private document that only... The way Google Docs works is you can create a link to a Google Doc, which you need the creator to give email access to like a specific account. So if he wanted to share it with one person, he would give that specific email account access to the document. But obviously he wanted it leaked, so he gave people a link which is just shareable. Like, this is 110%. He wanted this shared. Just Google Docs have so much privacy options. There's no single way that he did not intend this to be shared to like a bunch of people. And that's just straight. If he ever tries defending that he didn't want this leaked, like the fact that he said it was a leak on Twitter is just bullshit. Like it's 100% bullshit. What's up, Elite? I'm doing good. We're just reading some drama. What's up, M6? Hey. All right. So Yvonne/OTV. I'd like to give context to the messages he included of me talking about Yvonne. Since the leaked document, all attempts to imply that I was plotting against her when I was not the case at all. So it's not the case at all, blah, blah, blah. That seems bullshit. I'm really disappointed that he would try to publicly pit us against each other, especially since he knows us personally and the reality of the situation on top of what he's already put Yvonne through. This situation also has heavily impacted by the fact that Fed touched Yvonne inappropriately. Jesus, she goes hard. Which is something that OTV members weren't aware of until later. Please keep this in mind when reading the screenshots involving other house members because they didn't know and have done everything in their power to help Yvonne since they found out. Wow. What's up, Jar? Because I was so close to Fed, he would rant or vent to me about others a lot. Yvonne was a sore topic for him where he would continuously complain about her. He would complain that he was taking on her workload and that she would deny his attempts to get her to do work on OTV and stream instead. That seems true. Looking back at this now, no one can blame Yvonne for wanting to avoid him, but no one knew that what Fed did at the time. I've included an example of this below. So Fed, Yvonne goes into Yvonne's room. Yo, let's think of a prank / content idea since Lily and Albie are out. Immediately gets into Game of League. Smile. I leave and she says, hey, you gonna think of something, right? Yeah. Okay. So this is just Fed bitching about her. I've asked her when her game was done, she could come upstairs. Brain so soft. She's in his face, sad face. I want to keep playing. So he gave her a long stare and just walked out. I might hear... Okay. Well, this kind of makes sense. He's like asking to actually interact with her in person. And he like inappropriately touched her. If that's true. Which it has been confirmed to be true. These texts were from May 25th, 2019. Whereas Fed has shared screenshots of things I parodied about Yvonne months later on October 5th, 2019. I was not the only person that Fed would vent to about Yvonne, although I repeatedly heard the same thing from him throughout those months. He would also go to other house members to complain multiple times over, which ultimately led to the point of OTV having a meeting to discuss everything. The below text were after the meeting and showcased that the topic stemmed from Fed bringing up issues with Yvonne. Okay. Also, did she write up this whole doc in the day? That's kind of impressive. Well, so a little bit of context. She did it. She on stream in a like hour-long stream. She said that after the Fed drama happened, she had been up for a 30-hour period where she didn't eat. She stayed up for 30 hours and did a bunch of stuff. So I would say it's pretty reasonable to say that she got really stressed out, stayed up, and made this response. But yeah, it is impressive that she made this entire document. Okay, so this text reads, "Lol, I talked to Toast before the meeting, and we agreed that we should bring up Yvonne things if we considered a new third roommate. But I'm kind of glad. This is just, I don't want to read all of this, but it's basically saying he complained about Yvonne and they had a meeting. Okay. As you can see, there were also other members of OTV that were speaking up on behalf of Fed, as it was genuinely because we were under the impression from Fed that there was a problem that needed fixing. At this point in time, no one else in OTV house had the context that Fed had touched her inappropriately. There was also a different set of texts which show my concern for the lack of work being put into OTV during the beginning of quarantine. At that time, everyone in the house, including Fed, content lead, and Yvonne, house manager, were very focused on streaming, and I was worried OTV was being left on the back burner. To contextualize my concerns, OTV has a history of hiring core employees that later become content creators. Fed, Chris, Pekka, Edison, etc. And I'm genuinely happy for those people who are inspired to create content and are successful. For the overall sake of the OTV company, there are very important roles that need dedication in order for the overall group to function and to be consistent. This is why I was worried the issues would repeat itself to the point where Yvonne would no longer want to work at OTV. In Fed's document, he claims that he told me what happened between them, but Fed also told Yvonne. In Fed's document, he claims he told me what happened between them, but Fed also told Yvonne, and Yvonne shared this in her statement with Dr. K, that he didn't remember what happened. I want to make it clear that I did not have full awareness of what Fed did to Yvonne during any of the text/incidents shown. It was briefly mentioned to me late in 2019, first by Yvonne, then by Fed, that there was an uncomfortable incident that happened between them, but no details were shared with me. I had no clue on the severity or extent of the situation until much later. I learned of the full situation when she publicly spoke to Dr. K and privately in a heartfelt talk with our girlfriends. Wow. Jesus. In my initial stream discussing Fed, I was extremely frustrated because I had just found out what fully happened to Yvonne. And to think back at the times he complained to me about her and I blindly believed him made me livid. The same complaints that almost caused her to be let go from OTV. Even more so than that, I am frustrated with myself for not speaking to Yvonne and understanding her earlier. Given the context that I have now of what Fed had done to her, of course I would have never said those things or wanted her fired. Anyone in her position would have reacted the same way in an attempt to avoid someone who was touched by them inappropriately. I agree with this. This makes sense. It was unfair for Fed to have been let on though. Yes, it's true. That's something, yeah. I'm sure that'll be addressed later. Since then, Yvonne and I talked in private about what I've said and came to a relieving understanding after an apology from my end. I regret the added stress we put her through. I'm so sorry to both Yvonne and anyone who read my messages from Fed that may have questioned her or her work ethic. I hired Yvonne to work with me back in 2018, knowing that she was smart, thoughtful, and overall pleasure to work with. I then personally recommended her for an in-house position at OTV and was looking forward to working with her in person. She has grown in her role at OTV and as a content creator as well. And I'm grateful for her and everything she's done for us. Okay, cool. So this is now about Fed. Fed was my closest friend for a long time during the OTV Taiwan trip in February 2018. We became closer and considered pursuing a relationship. This is where a lot of flirty texts shown from Fed's documents are from. A couple months later, after he visited me in Canada and when we traveled back together, I told him I didn't want to be more than friends around May 2018. So May 2018, she gave him the I don't want to be more than friends. Jesus. God damn. Weeks later, OTV held a party where I expressed interest in meeting a specific person, later referred to as Steve. After the party, Steve confided in me that Fed told him that Fed and I currently had a thing, and asked Steve not to tell anyone. This really upset me, and I felt like a massive breach of trust, especially since it had happened after I told Fed that I only wanted to be friends. I confronted Fed about this immediately, and he apologized. Also, prior to my stream where I spoke about Yvonne and Lily's situation with Fed, I messaged him to give him a heads up, and he specifically asked me not to bring it up in public. He had also admitted to this mistake and was speaking to my best friend, Janet, after the intervention. Okay. This is why you can't fall for your roommates. It's a hard situation. Okay, so Fed's text or something. Thanks, I really appreciate that. Is there anything that you would really want me to leave out? I don't know if I could accommodate. Okay. So this is Fed saying, please don't talk about the Steve situation. Pokimane says, oh no. So Pokimane says, I'm going to talk. What do you want not to be said out of respect? Fed says he doesn't want the Steve thing to be mentioned. And then she says, no, I'm going to say it anyway. Janet says, hi Fed. Yeah, a little bit. Don't know the details that there was an intervention. How are you doing? And he said, well, pretty bad. I got him in to talk. I can give you all the details. So he called. He told me about what I thought was everything. He told me about him and the Steve situation with you. He admitted to Janet that he lied to Steve. He said he lied a lot. Right. Jesus. These are hardcore. This is why it's so difficult for me to believe him when he just now, years after the incident and months after it became public, attempts to deny it. So he's denying it after admitting it to someone that they are close to and trust. Fed has been known to be a serial flirt. This was brought up several times in an intervention we held for Fed, where several girls in our close friendship circle spoke on the situation where he'd crossed boundaries and made them uncomfortable. The girls at the intervention were all okay with this info being shared. For a long time, we all thought his flirtatious tendencies were just an innocent and natural part of who he was. I admit and take responsibility for these times that I later reciprocated, and the ways in which this could have complicated our relationship. I would also constantly hear of the ways in which he flirted with other girls and his ships, and often saw it on his stream as well, which made any reciprocations feel casual and insignificant. It may have been naive, but it was far from how he's attempting to betray me. This makes sense. What's up, Not So? This does make sense. If she is seeing him flirt with not hundreds, but a bunch of other girls, and then she reciprocates him being flirtatious, it is very hard for her to take it seriously, because if he's just doing it to a bunch of people, it's almost like a character. It's like a character trope of his. Like, it's just her memeing at the end of the day, or like playing into it. Have you read the text messages between them? He has some really shit chat. True. I tried to be transparent about who I was seeing in a conscious effort to be open and not to lead him on, which I now realize struck Fed as hurtful. Well, this is always going to be hurtful. She did the exact right thing of saying that she was seeing someone. Like, this is good. I understand it must have been a tough to move on from someone you live with, but I figured it was better that I was upfront and to hear it directly from me instead of hiding it. Yep, 100%. Especially since I would frequently hear of and witness him flirting with and pursuing other girls, even my close friends. It's fair enough. It seems appropriate. Fed also had a habit of sleeping in the girls' beds, Lily, Yvonne's, and mine. OTV viewers might remember this because it was something we all spoke of as an odd habit. An odd habit that he sleeps with women in their beds together. And we thought the sleepovers were strange, but harmless and just for fun. Fed clearly enjoyed the comfort and intimacy he could find in his friendships with many girls, and I was no exception. Unfortunately, he also had a habit of pushing that boundary not only with me, but with other girls as well, which was difficult for us to properly manage while considering the larger friendship circle dynamic. See, that's confusing. I have had also for a lot of my life, my best friends were girls. It was really weird, like as a straight white male, to have my best friends be women. And I also like sleep in the same beds as them and shit, but I'm not trying to make them uncomfortable. And I know he's not actively going out here to try and make them uncomfortable, but you gotta think of it from like their perspective. Okay, Fed. Alright, shut up. I'm just trying to be like, I'm just trying to like point out that I understand the attraction and the fact that this can be an okay functional thing, but there is such a boundary which you need to understand with women. Like, when you're a straight white dude sleeping in beds with girls, you need to, like, set up fucking boundaries with them and shit. Like, I've had girlfriends where I'm like, I'm in the bed, like, I'm sleeping with them in bed and shit. I ask for permission. I ask, like, hey, can I, like, fuck, you know, sometimes girls are like, you know, sometimes your girlfriends, like, they love cuddling. And they're like, hey, you can cuddle me in bed and shit. And stuff like that. But you gotta set up real strict boundaries, because there's too much of a gray area when you're a male sleeping with a female in the same bed and you are just friends, which in my case, and it seems like Fed's case, like, you gotta set up boundaries, man. Because you cannot fuck that shit up. You cannot fuck that shit up. Like, you cross one line, you're fucking done for. And, like, he crossed too many lines, he got done for it. Man, your life is a man's dream. Sleeping with girls who are my friends, yeah. Life's a dream, baby. Nah, but it's nice. Like, it's really nice to have girlfriends who are just your friends. Like, that is actually something I miss about high school, because as I've grown older and I'm in the gaming space, I'm friends with a lot less women. Because one, there's less women in the gaming space, and two, women in the gaming space are such a small commodity. Like, it sounds weird to say commodity, but they're viewed almost by, like, a lot of gamer guys as a commodity, because there's a lot less women in the gaming community that instantly those women are seen as, like, someone that could be someone's girlfriend in the gaming space. So when I try and have natural friendships and relationships with a female, it's really hard in the gaming space to, like, them to be super, super, super ultra comfortable with you just based off the average interactions that other gamers have with them. They, like, put them on a pedestal. They treat them as, like, a, you know, like a, almost like a sexual, a lot of gamers, like, treat women as, like, a sexualized object. And, like, it makes it really hard to be friends with girls in a super ultra platonic way. Yes, I have friends, female friends in the gaming space that I am platonically friends with, but it just sucks that there's less women in the gaming space, but also too, the ones that are there have really, like, they have barriers to men that are hard to break down just based off the experiences they have with gamers. It sucks. It really does suck. Because, like, I don't know, like, in primary school and high school, I probably had, like, a 50-50 split between, like, men and women being my friends. And now I'm in the gaming space, it's like 95% male as my friendship group. But in high school and stuff, I had, like, a really healthy, like, you know, it was like 60% men, 40% women. But I had a lot more female friends, and we would, like, hang out. They'd all come to my house. We'd get lunch and shit. And, like, it was, like, super easy to be, like, just, you know, just friends, and super nice. And it's, like, having the perspective and insights from a woman is also, like, at times refreshing and really nice. Like, it's really nice to have girlfriends. And yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks. That's like that's like a depleted thing in the gaming space. Yo, what were they snacking on? See, see, you motherfuckers in chat. Everyone's just like, just friends. Hey, ... They would come to your house, Pog. Oh, like motherfuckers. You guys are literally perpetuating the problems I'm talking about. Every one of you in the chat are all problems. You are all the problem I'm talking about. Like, I'm laughing about it because, like, I know most of you guys, like, you guys are like, say it as a joke, but at the end of the day, it's still like, it is still a serious issue. But I ain't gonna stand on a pedestal and like be like a freaking whiny baby about it. Like, it's just something I'm identifying. I don't also want to be that guy just women this, women that. Okay, like, yeah. Not my fault I'm a loser and have no girlfriends. For me, it was the opposite because high school was all guys. So only now do I have friends that are girls. Oh, really? Yeah. I actually chose to, in high school, I'll continue on with the document in a second, but I had the option of going to a really, like, expensive, well-facilitated, private school, but it was all boys. And then I had the option to go to, like, a pretty shitty school with, shit facilities, and, but it was co-ed, so it had women and men. And I chose to go to the co-ed school because, I just had so many more female friends in primary school that I couldn't imagine what it was like going to school without having female friends. Like, I felt like I would have lost, like, a certain identity, certain part of me. And on reflection, I am so glad that I went to a co-ed school with girls and guys, because far out, I had I just couldn't imagine not having, like, some of the, like, female friends in my life. Like, some of my close girlfriends. Like, I love those people. Like, I miss them. Like, they're all such good friends. I did not want to go to an all-boys school, and I'm happy I didn't. But, you know, maybe I would have came out at the end, like, gay, you know? Maybe that would be kind of PogChamp. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. Anyways, that was just my little spiel on why I think having, you know, female relationships and friendships is really important. Studying math at uni means talking to no girls all day at uni. Yeah, nice. See, when I was at uni, I was doing neuroscience, and some of the classes have crossovers with, like, biology and stuff, and there's lots of, like, girls in biology. But then there was, like, things like physics, and there was a lot less women in physics. So I understand the pain. Uni online means talking to no one, smiley face. Alright, anyways, I'm going to continue on with this. Recap what we were up to. They are talking about how Fed likes to sleep in beds with girls, and he overdid it and crossed boundaries. So let's continue on. Our friendship was complicated and confusing, and there were times we unintentionally hurt each other. Would it have been possible to cut things off completely? Question mark. Fed was my closest friend at the time, my roommate and my coworker / talent at OTV. Anytime I tried to reinforce that I just wanted to be friends, we were always in the same vicinity, and he would attempt to flirt and push that boundary again. There was massive pressure and encouragement for us to interact with each other on camera, stream, and vlogs. We'd also have several convos both in real life and over text pertaining to the complications of our relationship. As it wasn't a one-sided issue. Over time, I learned how to properly draw that boundary, and these issues slowly became less frequent. Makes sense. Like, you're living with someone, you kind of have the idea of dating them, but you know in your heart you don't want to. But there's all this pressure from, like, thousands of people saying, date. Like, that's a hard situation. Hi, Udi. It's Honey. I'm on my very old account because I got logged out. Oh, hey, welcome, Honey. How you doing? Law girls, I think shipping is so cringe. It's definitely cringe, but it's like very easy. Very easy to do. Okay. Continue on. Fed included messages of hotel room discussions that were misleading and taken out of context. To clarify, a few of us wound up in Vegas at the same time around December 6, 2018. I was there for a sponsored event with Lily, while Fed and some other friends were there separately for fun. I messaged him and told him we, plural as in myself and the girls, had a hotel room. I wanted for us all to stay together in his much larger room for fun, unless he wanted to stay alone so he could be at liberty to bring any girl home with him. So all four of us, me, Lily, Fed, Yvonne, stayed together in Fed's room for the entirety of the Vegas trip. To reiterate, Fed and I never stayed alone. There's photos plus video proof of this, and this interaction was not intended to be romantic or suggestive, nor did anything happen between us. If anything, I feel it shows that I was encouraging him to see other people and wanted to make sure I gave him enough space to comfortably do so. Referencing the text where I said, but I also can stay in mine because you know. Oh, shit. This makes sense. See, reading this, it was confusing. Because half of it seemed like she was hitting on him and half of it didn't. And now it makes sense as to what she was saying. But also, I can see from his perspective as why he could have taken it as he was getting hit on. Shipping is cringe unless it's ratty and sappy. Yes. Real quick, what is your actual view of this Fed guy right now? Because to me, he seems real seedy. I think let me break this down. Let me think about it properly. From what I've understood, I think Fed has done some shitty, seedy things. I don't think he is a bad person because of those things. He has taken the time to reflect on these shitty things and understand the effects of them. So in my heart, he's done a good thing, but he's done a shitty thing, and I will not support, condone, or forget the shitty things he has done, but I will appreciate the fact that he has attempted to get better. Now, he's attempted to get better on social media and all these platforms, so you never know what's the truth and what isn't and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he's an arsehole, maybe he's a... But from the social media perspective that I'm given, and that's the only thing that I can base this off, he seems like he's putting the right thing forward, but also the fact that he allowed this document to be shared and leaked puts a sour taste and a sour note in my mouth, because it does seem really shitty, and it does seem really bad that this came out. Because if it was leaked by him or his own viewers, there is something wrong, and he has enabled that. I think he wanted it shared, and so do I. Freem said it. I agree with him. I think he wanted it shared, and just based off that, it makes it really uncomfortable for me to say I think he's, a good guy or doing the right thing, because it sounds like at the end of the day, he could have released this himself. Yes, it would have hurt his relationship with Pokimane and these influential people more than it just being a leak. But he would have came clean. He would have accepted. He would have put out all the things he needed to say. And he would have been confident and straight up about it. But the fact that it came out in such a shitty way, and that Pokimane in herself believes that it wasn't leaked, that it wasn't a leak and he did it on purpose, I'm going to say I think he's done too many shitty things. And I hope he can create some form of, recap, apology, forward moving, and actually show through actions that he has changed, because his actions are not showing that he has changed. He says a bunch of things, and he says he's working on things, but for an outside perspective that no one knows about him, we don't know. So I'm just going to say, for now, he's a shitty person. And that's the only conclusion I can come to. I can't say... I want him to be a good person. Like I want Pokimane to be a good person. I want I want all of these people to be good people. They're influential. They have a lot of impact on children, people who care about them. And from what they've put out into the world, they've created great content and they've created great entertainment. And I'm sure a lot of these things that make them seem shitty were under pressure, under stress, under the facing doom that they are losing their entire livelihood and career. Like Fed, at the end of the day, he became popular by being an editor for YouTubers. He was a guy who lived in South America or something. I think he spoke okay English, and he became famous off the fact that he edited his entire time. He edited a shit ton for people, then came to offline TV, met all these popular people, and then became a creator himself and his own creator. So, obviously, he's under a bunch of stress and tries to salvage it, and he salvaged it in a shitty way. And at the end of the day, that just means I don't blame him for thinking about his career. And it's been so many months, and it's only come out months later. He's taken time to think, and he's taken time to think these things through. And the fact that he's had all this time to think about it and still executed on his apology or his reveal or whatever through a leak is just upsetting. It's disappointing. Yeah. I think he felt wronged by her and what she said about him, so he wanted to get the truth out without confrontation, so he tried leaking it. Yes, I agree. I think him being wronged by Pokimane, unironically, and his relationship with her is a thing that really bothered him most in his post. I think he was most upset by all the interactions that he had with Pokimane. I think it is really... I don't think he made Yvonne and Lily physically uncomfortable, has addressed those things, and then majorly addressed his relationship with Pokimane for, like, pages and pages and pages. So I really do think that this was him venting to what really hurt his heart and really emotionally tore him, which was his failed relationship with Pokimane. And it just... I understand, where he's coming from and his hurt. I've been hurt before and I've been sad before. But ultimately, it's shit and it reflects badly on him. And yeah, it doesn't look good for him. Hey Udi, how's your arm? Arm's good. He seemed a bit too persistent. Listen, when you live together with someone, and the thing is, this is spread over 2 years. And it's all been compiled into one thing. So it's like, maybe he wasn't, What's up, Elfinte? He was not willing to accept the fact that she was not into him. But the thing is, if you read his document, it shows instances of her indicating that she wanted to be with him. So it kind of makes sense that it was hard for him to take the message that she wasn't interested. Obviously, from an outside perspective, it's like, oh yeah, give up on her, blah, blah, blah. But you don't understand the emotional hurt, torment that he went through. And every single time he saw a glimmer of hope, he would attach to that. And that ultimately is his fault. It is ultimately his fault. But from an emotionally vulnerable position he was in, all the circumstances of them living together and all these things, I can empathize with his situation and see why it happened. But ultimately, he is wrong. And yeah, it sucks. I think they're both cancer, AIDS, cancel them both. Yeah, perfectly said. Yo, what's up, Sniper Venom? Thank you for the follow, dude. Welcome to the stream. Hi. What's up, Doc? We're just reading this. It's funny looking back on it. The reason that Yvonne person wasn't working as much as was probably because her role involved working closely with him on a constant basis. Can't imagine anyone that felt wronged or unsafe over the person would want to do that. It's kind of funny looking back. And the reason Yvonne yeah. I'm not going to speculate on, like, if her work ethic is tied to her involvement with Fed. I'm just going to take that as true and like, I could imagine if you're, like, I worded that like a pig. Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a bit of a, it's a bit messed up. Like, I could definitely see how someone's work life is really fucked up by them being like, you know, harassed sexually by someone. OTV should just be just Scar and Toast. Scar and Toast and Michael Reeves. No girls allowed. No girls allowed. Scar and Toast, Michael Reeves, baby. Okay, let me continue. You're not reading 100k thesis on cringe? Don't worry, I can do it. I'll read it for you. Okay. It's extremely frustrating to see so many people, so many private and old instances misinterpreted to intentionally favor him. The thing is, maybe he misinterpreted these genuinely, because I can see how he misinterpreted some of these things. But maybe, I'm sure he used some of them against her as well. It's also difficult to properly show my perspective without further invading Fed's privacy of other girls' privacy. I hope that anyone reading this can try to be understanding of that. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Weren't they low-key sleeping together? How is that not a sign? Well, the thing is, like, they say they never slept together. So, like, it's hard to see. Okay. He touched her, she felt unsafe, her work involved with her working closely probes why she didn't work as hard as much. All these problems could be so easily solved if people just grew a pair and communicated properly. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hey, preach, Ratty, preach. In summary, I hear a lot of hurt feelings in Fed's statement. When it comes to our friendship. Yeah, see, this is what I heard as well from the statement. I feel like Fed was most upset about his relationship with Pokimane than anything he ever said. I think he was just hurt by her so bad. And like, well, not to her intention, but this guy was in love with this chick, man. Like, this guy was like so in love with her, and him living with her, and like being so close to her, and the pressures of the internet never allowed him to truly get over her for 2 years. And then he just turned into like an emotional wreck over it. That seems what it's like to me. That seems what it's like to me. Anyways, I care about Fed a lot and wouldn't have wanted to hurt him. His feelings are valid and a good reminder to me that what one person thinks may be going on in a friendship don't always match up with other person's expectations. Looking back, I would have done a lot of things differently and know for a fact that neither of us handled the situation perfectly. However, our private convos heavily lack context, and I'm not okay with how they were being misrepresented. Interesting. The problem I have with him, he never communicated to her straight. It must have hurt him so much emotionally, he tried everywhere to get her. Oh yeah, he'd probably be fucked up. Dude, my mate literally did the same thing last year. It does happen. Sounds like Yvonne didn't want to talk to Fed about the incident and what it did to her. She let it fester and impact her work. Absolutely. I agree with the... You know, it's like all these situations, it's like I can empathize with you and see why everything was a problem, but no one at the end of the day took the initiative, grew the balls, grew the fucking ovaries, whatever you want to say, whatever the female equivalent is. No one grew a pair, took control of the situation, and solved the problems between them. And obviously, yeah, I can see all the reasons why it didn't happen, but at the end of the day, no one stood up, no one made the change that needed to happen. Until it became a problem. And he's dating the girl now. God damn, I hope that's a healthy relationship. Who is Jody? I have no idea who Jody is. Probably just another, like OTV has so many, like, Asian girls. I assume Jody in OTV is an Asian girl. Let me search up Jody OTV. Let's have a look. Yep. Oh, that's Pokimane. Yep. Okay. Wait, this girl's like, there's like a girl like half Asian, half white. Anyways. Okay. When is Udi replacing Fed at OTV, by the way? I don't want to be the next Fed, man. That wouldn't look good. That wouldn't be good for me. Can you check out my boy? What the fuck? I am not interested in seeing your messages in my chat right now. No, I don't need no self-promo. Nah, but it's always on Fed for crossing the line. Yes, I agree. But it's just like they didn't respond in the way they should have. Yes, I agree. If you have a problem with someone, talk to them. 9 out of 10 times, they're your friend. They didn't do it maliciously. They might not know how much they hurt you. Yes, absolutely. I've experienced this with friendships, with relationships, with people I don't even like. A lot of times, people can be hurt by you, and you have no idea you've done it. And most of the time, you definitely didn't intend to do it. And sometimes that just happens. That... I'm just farming trues. Hey, I'm happy for you to be a true farmer. I'm happy for you to be that. All right, so Jody, the way Fed framed my conversation with him regarding Jody is extremely one-sided. This is something that Jody and I have talked about privately weeks ago, and where I've owned up to and apologized for the messages. Looking back at these texts, I'm ashamed that I wrote them, and I feel terrible about the things I've said. The 2 pieces of context I'd like to provide are that 1, earlier that day, I was under the impression that we were going on a date and was being supportive, that they were going on a date and was being supportive. 2, the things I said about Jody are essentially me parroting Fed's opinion of her, which he also shared with me earlier that day. They were also a result of my perception of her being skewed and negative because of the info he gave me about how he felt exploited by her, and my poor choice to believe a rumor. Below, I've included the conversation I had with Fed prior to what I said about Jody for more context. Also, let me know how your date with Jody goes. Geez, this year has been unreal for you. Haha, not going on a date with her, lol. Oh, stop. You'd be down if she was in town. Just let me know how it goes, like the story. Okay, sure, we'll let you know. I like the honesty. No, but for real, not remotely interested in her. In all honesty, me, Leslie, and Yvonne talked about this. I feel hella exploited, and when we all hang out, like it's let's play Minecraft, she ignores Leslie and all the something. She ignores Leslie and all the girls. Big yikes. That doesn't sound normal. Isn't she really close with Leslie? You can tell she's trying to push the 40 thing. And according to Leslie, not anymore. Lots of bad drama. What kind of drama? Maybe she's just not the most considerate person, but also saying shit like, let's talk about going on a date if that's not really how you feel is a bit hypocritical because of course that pushes the 40 thing. Then with Minecraft stuff, Leslie refuses to play with her now, but we're all talking about pushing the... Okay, so this is her just like him being in drama with some chick. So he's in drama with a girl called Jody. Apparently, he thinks Jody is using her for clout and perpetuating relationship things. He doesn't like it. And he's told Pokimane that he's upset, and Pokimane believes him. Right. Yo, what are your thoughts on people leaking private messages, though? They've had to block shit out there. But where does it stop? Yeah, I don't know. That's something I don't understand. Or the only thing I can say about leaking DMs is if people are okay with you sharing the DMs, go for it. Or if someone has extremely wronged you and like in this situation, I think unless it is a legal matter where DMs have to be legally brought up, and someone has abused you physically or sexually or something, and you need proof and evidence, DMs are DMs. The DMs should be kept private. If it's little things, if it is things like Pokimane led me on, Pokimane did this, I don't think you should share DMs. And that's what Fed's thing was about. Pokimane hurt me emotionally. But it ties to the it ties to a story of him sexually touching people. It's such a gray area. I have no idea. I have no idea when or where you should share DMs. I've got no fucking idea. For the most cases, don't do it. Don't do it. Responding to leaked DMs with... yes. If... you know the saying, 2 wrongs don't make a right? Fuck that shit. If someone goes and leaks my DMs and takes me out of context, I'm leaking all those motherfuckers' DMs. I don't care. I don't care what you morally think is right. Maybe I'm morally wrong here. 2 wrongs don't make a right. But if someone's leaking my DMs and making me look bad, I'm going straight to your DMs, bitch. Okay? You are going to get flagged out. I'm guessing the stuff they share is private and that's not related. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably not, but you never know, friend. Because you can only fight fire with fire in that case. Yeah. There's like the high road that you can take and be like, no, I didn't do it. And don't share anything. But I think in social media, that's a hard thing to do. Because people on social media are so quick to judge. And they see, you know, it's like monkey see, monkey do. They see bad thing about person. They believe bad thing about person. Usually on social media, there's no secondary thought behind something happening. And when it's social media, it's really hard to take the high road and be like, no, I'm not going to share DMs. But when everyone on social media is being like, you're a bad person, you're a bad person, you're a bad person. And you can't just sit there and take it and like move on. Because that shit sits with you. And it's the internet. It stays there forever. So I think for the most part, in most situations, you got to fight fire with fire on the internet. You got to. You gotta respect him for understanding his mistakes. Anyone can understand their mistakes. It's what they do with that understanding after that really matters. Sorry, I just got a message. Like, I could like punch a baby in the face, right? But if I... okay. That's why did I you can't learn from punching a baby in the face, okay? If I you cannot, okay, no one should be punching babies in the face, and there's nothing to learn from punching babies in the face. Say if I lie about someone, if I lie about someone and I continue to lie about people, I didn't learn anything from it. That's the moral of the story. It's basically, I can say like lying's a bad thing and then lie again. All I'm saying is, if you make a mistake, I don't give a shit if you say, oh, I learnt from it. Show that you learnt from it. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because, my God, I got experience with frickin', you know, like, ex-girlfriends and shit. And they go like, oh, I've changed. It's like 2 weeks back into a relationship with them. Bitch, you ain't changed. You haven't changed shit. They doing the same thing. They ain't doing shit, okay? And listen, shout out to my boys. My boys have been through my relationship. Some of the boys in the chat, they've been through me and my tribes and tribulations with relationships. And this is where I really understand the concept of people can say they accept their responsibility and they realize that they've done the wrong thing, but I don't give a shit, okay, until you show me that you've changed. Because it's a lot easier to say than do. Only things that change is they side piece. Only thing that changes is that they're a side piece. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. But yeah, we can get into the concept of punching babies later. Okay. Please don't go. No, that was a joke. I'm not going into that concept. People don't realistically change within a few years. Yeah, exactly. Like, when people say they've changed, it's just, most of the time, it's like, they have learnt something that they need to improve on, rather than they've actually changed it. And that's the difference. That's the difference. Okay, anyways, continuing on. We can come up with more, we can come up with more talking points as we go along. I love reading this shit. I love reading drama that allows me to expand on my personal experiences with like my own life. Because I actually don't give a shit about this. I love talking to you guys about other things that I find interesting. Or they've learnt that they need to hide certain nefarious things better. Shit. Freem. See, one thing that I'll appreciate, I'll put some appreciation on Freem in the chat right now. I always say, I feel like I'm a very positive person. And I'll be like, yeah, people improve on these things and blah, 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 blah. But also people do exactly what Freem says. And they accept shitty things about themselves. And they just hide it. Or they pretend like it's not a real thing. Instead of fixing it. Like, I'll be honest. There have been things where I say, yeah, I'll do better next time. But it's me just not doing the thing. But I never actually fixed it. You know? Like, I'll own up to that. Sometimes people have told me I do a shitty thing. And instead of improving on it, I just ignore it completely. And sometimes that's actually a good thing to do. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's easier to just ignore things about, ignore bad things about yourself than change it if it's not a reoccurring problem. If it is something that can upheave itself and reoccurring, and it needs to be addressed and needs to be fixed, you got to take care of that shit. But I also do think there's a middle ground where you can, it's easy to just suppress things. And you get the point I'm trying to say is people easily suppress bad things rather than deal with bad things. I know certain people who say they've changed and all they've changed is strats to hide flaws in question. Shit. God. That's such a mentally hard thing to deal with, Frame. Like, I'm going to read it again. I know certain people who say they've changed, and all they've changed is strats to hide their flaws in question. I know the exact same. I know people like that. I know people like that. I have friends like that. Being in the dating game, you date girls like that. Even, you know what? I even have friends' parents who are like not good people. I have friends who I consider their parents bad people. And I even see it out of their parents. So it's like, it doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, some people are going to have problems. They're either going to avoid their problems. They're going to accept their problems and just morph them into something else. And they're going to do some nefarious bullshit. But there is also a subgroup of people out there who improve on themselves and make themselves better. And on a cynical note, it's not a common thing that people do. It really isn't a common thing that people do. And it's also not an easy thing that people do. If it was easy, I'm sure people would do it. But it's not an easy thing to do. And it takes effort and it takes time. And that's just, there's nothing to learn from that except for some people are just bad people, or some people are assholes, and people are going to use and abuse and manipulate. And that's the fact of the matter. Okay. Alright, I'm going back to editing now. There's a reason why you're lovely, Toby. I've met your parents. Good night. Appreciate you, Jackson. I'll talk to you later. You look if the person is a pig, their parents usually are too. Well, I've been told I have nice parents. So, like, I hope I get brownie points for that. Anyways, let's continue on. They're talking about drama from the text, and Fed, he's saying is exploited, blah, blah, blah. We're on page 10, 11. We're almost at the end, guys. You can verify my mom's nice? Oh, thanks, Elfinto. Appreciate that. Alright. Later that same day, I heard Jody speaking about Fed on her stream and having heard all these negative things about her from him. I had a very skewed perception of everything she said. Here is his replies that intentionally left out from the screenshot, showcasing this was not a one-sided exchange and that he was encouraging it. I don't know, I can't stand people obviously acting more drunk than they are saying pity shit chat. Makes me gag. Anyways, that's my vent. Have a good stream, lol. Okay, so this is Pokimane ranting about how Jody annoys her for acting fake. And it is influenced by the things that Fed has said. And then Fed responds, haha, please continue, I love it. So he loves Pokey ranting about Jody. So he's just like, you know, let's keep flaming. Fake thought angry at another fake thought. Jesus Christ. Can verify Udy's dad is nice. Yup. Well, a lot of people do love my dad, alright? He's a highlight member of the Horn family. Anyways, proof that these messages happened on the same day. Yep. Shows that they were sent on the same date. Sure. Anyways. This is a very familiar pattern for Fed that I and many other friends spoke about. It's something I specifically called him out in my first stream, and directly to him at the intervention, he would spread doubt and rumors, egging people on to think negatively of each other and dividing people up. I don't know if this was intentional, but it kept others apart and Fed as their main confidant. Okay, let's see this example.
Come to our house all the time, always in a bad mood, and it was always because it was like, oh, Fed's over, stuff with Poki or OTV's like not good right now. Like that was it. He would run away. He would run away constantly, and then while he's there, he's like just spreading bad vibes about OTV, which would slowly start to push us away from them. I'd start to have these really negative thoughts about
Jimmy?
Poki.
Hey,
like,
dude.
I really thought like, wow, like she's driving him crazy. Poor guy. Like, man, like, you know, I had all these negative thoughts about her, and I apologized to her directly about like not talking to her in the moment.
This is sad.
Instead just believing everything Fed was saying, because at the moment Fed is my close friend.
This setup is beautiful.
And so he and so if you're wondering why a lot of this stuff had to be aired publicly, and it's because that was the only way we'd see Fed change, because we had tried to address things publicly. And instantly with the intervention, he went running to all the people who weren't at the intervention, victimizing himself. Come to our house all the...
What's up, Jimmy? Yo, Lil Mid G. Thank you. Welcome, mate. Firstly, I gotta say, just quickly, I've watched a little bit of Among Us content from this group of people. This guy, I don't even know what his name is. Wait, his name's like Peter, I think. I really like this guy, on a side note. But I don't want to detract from what we were talking about, but I like this guy. This guy's funny. Anyways, all I'm saying is Fed going to these people's houses and like flaming and saying negative things does seed into the mind of people. Saying the littlest thing about someone negatively can internally paint them to people as a different person. It's small things, little things, all like anything. And the thing is, this guy was here every day. God, that would be like, you know, like I'll tell you guys about an experience that I had with my family, and it's pretty upsetting to me. It was pretty upsetting. Someone really close to my family said something really negative about my dad. Someone who is part of like I guess it's like the second layer of family. So there's the first layer that's like mom, dad, me, and my sisters and brothers, right? And then there's like the second layer, which is like cousins, whatever, blah, 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 all those people. Someone in that layer of family said something really, really negative about my dad. And really, really awful. And it was a really bad comment. It was a really, really bad thing to say about someone. I'm not going to say what it was. I'm not going to indicate, because it's just not like... It was really gross. It was really gross. And basically, this family member said something about my dad. And she... Okay, there you go. It's a she. Tried to negatively impact my parents' relationship by saying this thing about my dad, which was not true, and it is proven not true, and this person who said this thing about my dad is not allowed at family gatherings anymore. It's not allowed to see us, talk to us, blah, blah, blah. It's really awful what this person did and said, and tried to effectively... I think the motive of this person saying these things was to separate my parents. And this is something that happened in my life when I was maybe like 14, 15. I don't know. It was really awful. And it was someone that I was close to and I'd spent a lot of time with in my childhood. And this woman did this thing and said these things. And she said this awful thing about my dad, which I know is not true, but even saying a negative thing about my dad like that, when when something that could draw ties to that situation arises in my head, like arises in life, I instantly think to that thing that was said about my dad, and it puts a negative stigma in my head. And so at my worst moments, it's been like, what if that thing that person said about my dad is true? And I know it's not true. And I know in my heart it's not true. And I know in my head, my logical mind, and my emotional self, it is not true. But the fact that someone said this about my dad has created like the neurological connection that this is something that could have been associated to my dad. So if anything related to it comes up, it triggers that like memory of tying this thing that isn't even true to my dad, right? And it fucking sucks. And it pisses me off that this is a thing, and I hate this person for this, right? I hate this person for this. And it's like, it just leaves that memory, even if it's not true. And what I'm trying to say is like, Fed in this situation did the same thing to this person, Foosley. He said negative things about Pokey. Even if they're not true, it may leave a negative, everlasting effect on her brain and how she perceives her. And that fucking sucks. So it's just like, I can see why Pokey was so upset by this situation. And like, how damning that is to someone. It's so bad. It is so bad. And like, yeah. Like, it's just... Saying things, no matter if they are true or not, in the brain, can be so powerful. And so damning. And so negative. So bad. It's just so bad. That's something that's like comes close to home, and that shits me. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Anyways, okay. Did she say your dad is raise a streamer who can't complete Minecraft in under 9 hours? Elfinte, I completed under 2. All right, check my most recent YouTube video. Thank you very much. Okay, so in other words, first impression is the last impression. Not really. Not really. It's not, and it has nothing to do with first. Okay, anyways, continuing on. I hope the screenshot added context to show how disingenuous it was for Fed to attempt to frame this conversation as me being possessive of him. Regardless, I really regret having spoken of Jody in this way, and I'm so happy that we were able to work through it. It also taught me a valuable lesson in not only who to trust, but taking opinions with a grain of salt. Jody's experience with Fed. Oh shit, this is her whole document? Oh fuck, I'm not reading this now. Alright, is there a TLDR? No. Let's see if we can like, speed read. Conversations about that. Remember the Fed read the conversation, so you imagine my surprise and text. Okay, so this is basically saying her problems with Pokimane were caused by Fed. Pretty much. That's what from all the little information that I picked up while scanning this, that's what I took from it. Anyways. They got the whole house writing, dude. Yeah, exactly. Conclusion. Ultimately, my complicated and volatile friendship with Fed had no part in why he was kicked out of offline TV, and such private details never needed to be public. It has been extremely jarring to have my privacy violated by someone I trusted for so long. Out of respect for my friends who are mentioned in these convos, they were all shown the text and were given, and of course given the option to decline any convos from being included. In any parts of the convos, if any of the parts of the convos were blocked, I have done so to maintain privacy for them and will not disclose that info. I hope this context shows my side of the story and helps to put this to rest. No, this is posted to my alt account. Oh yeah, she posted it to her alternate Twitter account. Who the heck cares? Okay, let's read chat. Well, that was the whole conclusion. In conclusion, both of them did bad things, both of them did right things. Fed was ultimately hurt about Pokimane from what I took, and Pokimane was ultimately upset about the ties of relationships that Fed has hurt between her, Jody, Yvonne, and yeah. And it seems like she pretty much accepts most of the Fed stuff. She's upset about him lying about some things. Yeah. That's pretty much, that's what I took from it. That's a little TLDR. Anyways. Lil Mid G. What's good? What's the YouTube? Yo, crazy. Thank you for sharing the video to him, man. Appreciate you. Oh boy, damn, they really, yeah. It was funny to hear Udi say big sentences like in my logical mind and all. 83 people reading this? God. Any advice for lasting longer? I have big size but very sensitive. Tony Dan. Tony Dante. You know what? I know this is a massive sidetrack, but what I do when I'm in, you know, if I'm trying to last longer, I do maths while I'm, you know, going to town. I try and not listen to anything she says or any noises, because noises fucking make that shit happen 10 times faster, but do maths. I try and do really hard multiplication in my head. Tony, and guys, sorry for sidetracking, but Tony, try maths. That's a good one. Lil Mid G, you're gonna be playing Among Us with Copper and the crew? I am not today. Not today, mate. Not today. After stream, can you reply to my Instagram DMs? Sure, dude. Got you. eBay Udi? eBay? God damn. Lasting longer, you need to think about something else. Maths is the way. Maths is the way. I used to think about real painful shit happening to me. Jesus. What is happening with Pokey? Drama with boys. Drama with boys. Drama with boys, Prima. Would you do a sex tape? If so, what's your price? Shit, that's a great question. Sacred Tabs, welcome to the channel first. Would I do a sex tape, and if so, what's the price? Hey, Gian, how you doing? Hey, Gian. How much? Hard question. I think... Guys, I actually don't know. How much would it... It kind of depends. It kind of depends, you know? Yo, Alter Ace, what's good? Why are you on my recommended channels? We were just talking about Pokimane drama, dude, and reading, like, her response. I don't know if that's what you're interested, but now I'm answering a question. Someone said, would you make a sex tape, and how much would you do it for? So I gotta figure that out. Yo, Laser the Fresh, what's good, man? Listen, Sacred. Oh, yo, Katie or Catty, welcome, thank you. The thing I must say is it depends on the conditions. Like, who is it? Is it with a guy? Is it with a girl? Are they clean? You give me a scene and I'll tell you a price. All of this could have been avoided if Fed was gay. Damn, Mental is spitting facts right now. What if we were all just gay guys? We'd never have girl problems, right? We'd literally never have girl problems. It'd be so simple. 5K to do it with me tonight. Yites, hit me up in the Instagram DM, send me a photo, send me bank details. I mean, I'll send you bank details and we'll make things happen, mate. Or mate or not mate, depending on you, you know, whatever you want to be called. You've been in my recommended for a while. Pretty sure I've seen you play Among Us. Yo, Alter Ace. I make Among Us YouTube videos and I stream Among Us a lot. So if that's something you're into, that's probably why Twitch has recommended you to the channel. Tonight, I'm not playing Among Us because I've actually got to go film an Among Us video in like 2 minutes. So I actually have to end stream real soon. But I'm filming Among Us videos right now. So, you know, if you like Among Us, mate, ! Video, that's the YouTube channel. Yeah, I make content over there. You and Jared, OC, 20 minutes, alternate positions. Damn, I'd do that for free. I mean, can't imagine being like James Charles. You don't have to be James Charles if you're gay. I'm not here for the Among Us. I'm here for the content. Damn, I like that. Hey, well, Alter, I like you, man. I like you. Oh, you're from Charlie's stream. Oh, this makes sense. Well, Alter, welcome from Charlie's stream, mate. You are instantly, you know, I can tell you're a quality guy from being a Charlie viewer. So I hope you come back. I've got to end stream now because I've got to go record a video. So appreciate you guys. I gotta run. I gotta go film an Among Us video now. I will see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you all being here. This was a fun stream. It was a short stream, but it was a high quality stream. Good chatting to you all. Appreciate you all. Hey, Frop, and love you too, man. Appreciate you. Alright, guys. I'll catch you. Good night. I'm heading off now. See you next time. Bye, guys. Is Copper streaming? Oh shit, I'll raid Copper. I'm gonna raid Copper. I don't know if he's like streaming now or what. It says he's streaming. Appreciate you all. Catch you next time. Bye, guys.